What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factory, and I am back with my monthly deep dive of the Toy Story franchise. Last month, I rewatched Buzz Lightyear Star Command cartoon, and so now I'm back into the proper Toy Story universe with Toy Story 3, so let's review. So Toy Story 3 takes place years after the events of Toy Story 2. Andy, he's all grown up, he's getting ready to go to college, and the toys, they worried about what Andy's about to do with them, but the toys, they end up at a daycare center where everything's all sunshine and rainbows until it's not, and so now they're trying to escape and get home to Andy before he goes off to college. Now, this movie came out in 2010. That was the year I graduated high school. I was the right age when this movie came out. And long story short, everybody loves this movie. They think it's the best of the franchise. Some people would agree. And it was, for a long time, the final conclusion of the Toy Story series. And it was a perfect end. It made grown teenagers cry like little babies, myself included. But of course, they made a fourth and a fifth movie on the way, but more on that some other time. But I still echo these sentiments. When I rewatched this movie recently, I just kept asking myself, like, why do they keep making movies? This was so perfect right here. Why spoil it? But what I also love about this movie this time around was how well paced it is. First, they take you through some nostalgic times with where we see a young Andy playing with the toys, and we actually get to see his mind in how it works playing with these toys, and then we flash forward the toys that haven't been played with in years. Andy's getting ready to go off to college. They end up at Sunnyside, and then Andy, he gets separated, and then we get some backstory about Lotso, the villain of this movie, and what he goes back to get the toys out. They end up at the furnace, and then they end up at Andy's house, and then Andy gives the toys away, but not before playing with them one last time. It just, all that happens within a span of 2 hours, and it's not overwhelming. It was well paced. Just, this is how movie making should be. To me, this franchise grew up with its audience, and I love that it does that. Like, it would have been real easy for them to just, stick with Andy as a kid, but it was like, no, let's age Andy up a little bit. Let's grow up with the audience that grew up watching these movies. And even aside from Andy, the toys themselves, particularly Woody, he goes through his own little arc because he's so loyal to Andy, and, well, Andy, he's getting ready to take Woody off to college while Andy puts the other toys in the attic. But by the end of the movie, and especially seeing through Andy's mom, he realizes that, like, hey, you know what? Sometimes good things have to come to an end, and he has to let Andy go and go into the next chapter of his life. Now let's talk about Lotso Bear, who is the villain of this story, and in my opinion, the best villain of the Toy Story movies, because we see his origin about how his owner Daisy, she loved him so much, but then he got left behind, and then when he goes back, he sees that Daisy replaced her with another Lotso Bear, and that just awakens something in him, and basically he just has the whole "if I can't have her, nobody can" mindset, which definitely affect his decision making in running Sunnyside Daycare Center. And just, I just love the complexity of this character for a damn kids movie of all places. And of course, all the voice actors return to play these characters. You got Tom Hanks returning as Woody, Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear, John Cusack as Jesse Doll. All the cast, well, except for the original actor Jim Varney, who voiced Slinky in the first two movies, because after the second movie he passed away, and so they got, I'm blanking on his name, but the dad, Sean's dad from Boy Meets World, to voice Slinky, but even then he still did an excellent job. Now, of course, we got to talk about the two moments that made everybody cry, and it's when the sequence when the toys, they end up at the landfill and ultimately at the furnace where they're about to get burned, and the toys, they're worried about what to do, but they all just accept their fate, and they're all together holding hands, and that is a beautiful moment right there. It almost shed a tear for me, like, wow, this is really the end. But of course, they're saved by the little green alien man. That's how you do a Deus Ex Machina. And then, of course, at the very end, where Andy gives the toys away to Bonnie, and he plays with them one last time, and I just like how he's just presenting all the toys. He's telling what makes every one of those toys special and naming them and everything. That brought the waterworks the first time I saw that scene in the theater. What can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said? It's, to me, still the best of the series. It's one of the best Pixar films, one of the best animated films, and for a long time, how you do a concluding chapter of a trilogy. Why do they have to keep making them? Needless to say, Toy Story 3 abso-fucking-lutely gets the hands up emoji because it is a masterpiece. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have you seen Toy Story 3? Well, you probably have, but if so, let me know what you think in the comment section below. This your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.